Hi, I'm Catherine from English with Catherine. Are you confused by the fact that English has two present tenses? Well, you're not the only one. If you want to know exactly how and when to use the present simple and the present continuous, and do some exercises at the end to test your knowledge, then keep watching. English has two present tenses, the present simple and the present continuous. Most other languages only have one. This, of course, causes difficulties for non-native English speakers who ask themselves, well, which one do I use? When students translate into their own languages, both tenses might seem possible, but in English there is only one correct tense for each scenario. Let's start with the present continuous. Verbs used in the continuous sense are action verbs. The first instance of the present continuous is where the action is happening right now at the time of speaking. It's formed with the subject, I, you, he, she, plus the auxiliary verb to be, conjugated of course, the main verb plus ing. For example, I am working, he is playing, they are doing. Some other examples are, it's raining now. Why aren't you listening to me? The children are playing at school. The second instance is around the time of speaking. It doesn't necessarily have to be right now, just around now. For example, Mary's currently looking for a job. Martin is reading a biography on Napoleon at the moment. I'm working on a project that's really interesting. As you can see, these don't necessarily mean at the moment, but it's in and around now. So it could be for the last few weeks, it could be for the last few months, but it's definitely recently. The third instance is for temporary situations. I'm living in Paris at the moment, but I hope to move to Nice next year. Jim is working really hard today. He's normally a little bit lazy. Now, in some of these examples, I've used the words currently, now, at the moment. When you use these words, it means you are doing something at the present time, in or around now, so you have to use the present continuous. Now, the first instance of the present simple is for repeated actions. For example, I go to work 5 days a week. The children normally play in the garden after school. Robbie doesn't usually eat meat. It often rains here. The second instance is for things or facts. For example, the moon goes around the earth. Most people learn how to swim when they are children. Dublin is the capital of Ireland. The third instance is where we talk about permanent actions as opposed to temporary actions with the present continuous. For example, my sister lives in Rome. She's been living there for 20 years. Jim works hard most of the time. Present simple does not speak about what we are doing right now. It's only about things in general, repeated actions, or for facts or things. The adverbs we use in the present simple are always, often, never, sometimes, occasionally, normally, rarely, and generally. When we use these words, we have to use the present simple. The same with present continuous. When we use now, currently, at the moment, we have to use present continuous. Some verbs don't describe actions, but they describe general states. These verbs never use the continuous version. They never use the present continuous because they don't refer to a specific point in time. Some examples of these verbs are like, dislike, love, hate, adore, detest, prefer, to mind, resent, want, wish, envy, respect, despise, know, understand, doubt, believe, think, as in I believe, I think, belong, own, possess, have, meaning own, contain, consist of, owe, need, lack, deserve, be, exist, seem, appear, meaning seem, resemble, signify, matter. I know him well, but we don't say I am knowing him very well. We do not use the continuous version. She seems tired, not she is seeming tired. What sort of music do you like? Not what sort of music are you liking? Okay, time to test your knowledge. In this first quiz, I want you to choose between the present continuous and the present simple. Which sentence is correct? I'm going to give you the answer after each question. So what you can do is pause the video so you have time to think about the answer. Every scene in the movie Fight Club contains a cup of Starbucks coffee. Every scene in the movie Fight Club is containing a cup of Starbucks coffee. Yes, of course, the first one is correct because contain is a static verb. It's not an action verb, so it never takes the continuous version. I have to go now. It's getting late. I'll call you. I have to go now. It gets late. I'll call you. Yes, it's the first one that's correct. Why do we use the continuous? Because it's getting late now. We're talking about now and it's at the time of speaking. He's a terrible employee. He is never getting to work on time and he is surfing the internet all day. He's a terrible employee. He never gets to work on time and he surfs the internet all day. Yes, it's the second one because it's not talking about now, it's talking about this employee in general. Now let's try something a little harder. I want you to conjugate the verb yourself in the following sentences, either in the present simple or the present continuous. Paul drank those beers very fast today. He must be thirsty. So yes, the answer is drinking because it's today, it's at the moment, it's now, it's talking about now. Sue looked for another apartment because she doesn't like her flatmate. So yes, it is looking because she's doing it now or around now. It's not something that she does in general. The two sisters resemble each other a lot. Yes, it's present simple because it's not something temporary. So we're not going to say are resembling. It's something that they were born with. They look like each other. They resemble each other. It's a fact. Well done, guys. How'd you go with those quizzes? If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments below. If you like it, please click thumbs up and subscribe for new videos every week. Thanks, and I will see you very soon.